Oh yes, Liberia. A news company, when I hate you sometimes, even if you just come from having breakfast or dinner or lunch, you go hungry straight away. Hey, DJ Rube, Mr. Ruben Cooper, welcome. Tonia Kekula. It's great to see you guys on the platform this afternoon, this evening, in the morning. It's great. Just help me to share that video on the platform you're on. I'm backing you. Oh, salute. Hello, Sele. Hello. All right, we're going to start the show this evening, this morning, with a short interview I had with, not really a short interview, it was really lengthy, but just portion of it, a couple of years ago with Mr. Robert Salive. Hey, Rob Salive, Yeah, we're going to start off with that. Tomorrow I will be here at 1 p.m. That's UK time of 12 p.m. time in Liberia. We'll be remembering our brother, fallen hero as well, Mr. Ernest Momovavi. I had a lengthy interview with him just before the elections in the US and Liberia. You hear from this lady, young man. His soul rest in peace. So tomorrow, yes, a very lengthy interview with the late Ernest Momovavi. I will replay it tomorrow. Thank you so much and welcome to the show. A good friend. Ronell, I'm praying along with you. May God heal you. So just to take a batch of this, and soon, of course, our studio guest or guest analyst for the show, the print news review, Mr. C. Kofa Nelson, aka Nokofo, will be in studio with us. So if you have that time, just share the video, begging you, and invite somebody to come on. Hey, let's take a Sele. Liberia, what we need now is Sele. The Madam, former president of Liberia, spoke today. I think I'll play that interview a little bit. I'll play them pieces. Oh yes, the woman spoke. I'm still putting my request through. I want her to grant me at least 20 minutes. interview with her. Oma on Twitter, she's not playing on Twitter a few days. So I say I tweeted her, I think twice now, I seeking an interview with her. Waiting, keeping my fingers crossed. Good evening, good afternoon to all of you. We're just getting married, or we got married this gone weekend. Let me say, happy wedding, celebrating your anniversary. Happy wedding anniversary. We've got a special one coming up here for a graduate, a special graduate as well. She just, in fact, the graduation ceremony is going on right now in the USA. Rose, come on. You graduated today in the medical area, right? I want to say congratulations to you, Rosie. Thank you for coming on the field where people can save lives. So let me hold this in this song here a little bit before I bring in Kofa Nelson, aka Local 4. Let's listen to this interview. I did a couple of months back now with Mr. Robert Saliv. Just a little bit of it I'm going to give you. We'll find time and play the whole interview.
That's what happens. That's the reality. I don't think it's any different than any other political arena in the world. To be honest with you, I don't think it's any different.
So it means you fought the battle with honesty. That's what caused you to lose the election, man.
I don't say it cost me to lose the election. I mean, there are many variables, Max, that go on with that. But we did it in an honest fashion. Now, yes, you're disappointed, but I wake up in the morning, my head high. I can walk anywhere in Missouri County, and I can still point to 100 projects. It was there for people to see. I didn't make it up.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to do it. I said I already did it. I will do more. But this is what we have done. It wasn't enough. They chose, and that is okay. That is what the democratic process. They chose who they felt at the time, in December of 2014, who they wanted for 9 years. And the choice that we make in life, we have the evidence. We do, I do evidence. It was their choice. To me, we are honest. Nobody can go and look at our program and say, oh, the Robert Senate campaign lied to us and said they would do this and said they would do that. Now, we heard the opposite. Now, the only reason we did all this stuff was to run for political office. See, we never do anything after that. Well, they were wrong with you. When we renovated all the bathrooms that you knew, they were wrong. When we did the NTA program, they were wrong. All of these were post-election commitments. What else can I tell you, man?
So, Mr. Saliva, maybe if I sum up and ask you a question now, would you then agree that our leaders have used lies to get to the position of trust?
I did not say that.
All right, that was Robert Saliv. I have that full length of the interview with him. And of course, when you have the opportunities, these people, sometimes people, when you have the opportunity to meet them, they give you 10 minutes, make good use of it. So when I had Mr. Robert Saliv here on this platform, we talked a whole lot. In fact, it was more than a 45 minutes interview. I will bring that interview, and because the mom talked today on Al Jazeera, and I myself I asked Mr. Saliv that time about no car, and I know he answered the answer he gave me. And how it can go along with the answer that mother gave today. I'm going to go to that now, just to let you know. I'm going to go to that. Happy Ramadan to all of you, especially my brother that is on the platform right now, Maurice Kazama. Happy Ramadan, Ramadan Mubarak to you. I'm going to show. We'll take a short musical break, and I'm going to throw in another song because I'm going to be doing that, a special treat to all of our Muslim mothers and fathers and sisters and brothers are exclusive one on this on all my platforms here until the last day of the Ramadan. Just to appreciate all of you. But that's it. That was yes, that was Robert Salif. He was talking about everything and how he lost the election down in 2005, I think, yeah, and how honest he was, and because he was, and that's why I posed the question on him whether because he was too honest to the people and telling the people the truth, that's why he lost the election, and he said no. But that's it. Okay, we're gonna take. Let me see. Before I bring the Omar in, the the latest interview, and bring on. Let me see. Number 4, our guest analyst. Let me see if I can play the Omar interview. Let me see if I can play the Omar interview. Let me see if I can play the Omar interview. Okay, something going on here. Probably. Let me try another means.
Special. You said you appointed family members for special. You said you appointed family members.
Sorry.
Family members for special. You said you appointed family members for specialized skill sets. Your son, Robert Sirleaf, was appointed chairman of Liberia's national oil company. That company went bankrupt and 30 to 40 million US dollars disappeared. What special skill set did he bring to national oil company?
No. First of all, let me just say, what you just said is a blatant lie. L-I-E, lie. You go look at the records. There is nothing about that company going bankrupt.
So there were no problems at all at National Oil Company?
The National Oil Company ran into because the two companies that were trying to exploit for oil, ExxonMobil and Chevron, could not find oil. They pulled out, and that meant that this company could not continue. It's as simple as that. And the record is clear.
How about the Liberia Central Bank? You appointed your son Charles Sirleaf as deputy governor there. You suspended him. You suspended him for failing to declare his assets. And 2 months ago, he was ordered to be held in jail while awaiting trial for having unlawfully printed local currency worth tens of millions of US dollars. Did you know he was doing that?
Well, I didn't know you wanted to have an interview just to come out with outrageous statements. I mean,
I'm confused. Was he not?
I thought you.
Has he not been held in jail? Is that wrong? Has he not been held in jail?
That is not true. That is not true. He was unjustifiably, illegally charged. But anyway,
so he was charged. I mean, that's your opinion. You're his mother. Obviously, you're not going to agree with the charges. I'm just asking you to comment on him being held for trial. You're saying that didn't happen. Please.
No, you're not. No. What you're trying to do is showmanship now. That's what you're trying to do. We don't need that. We need to have a civil exchange.
I'm very civil. I asked a very simple question. You accuse me of making up things. I haven't accused you of anything. I simply asked, your son has been ordered to be held in jail while awaiting trial for having unlawfully printed local currency worth tens of millions of dollars. What's your reaction to that? There's nothing uncivil about that question.
Look, our system requires that when we have a case under the jurisdiction of the court, we're not supposed to talk about it until that matter is settled by the courts. So you're trying to make me do things that are not right and not legal. Please don't do that.
Okay. Courtesy of Al Jazeera, our colleague there, my colleague there in the meet, Al Jazeera. Oh God. All right. Okay. That was the Omar. I think Kofa Nelson is already here. Let's see. Kofa, I think you're calling through. You're not coming on live, so if you want to, you can call. Let's see now. Let's see. I think the Skype is activated. You can call the Skype line. Let's see. Yeah. We're going to start off with that interview. Kofa Nelson. Let's see. AKA Noko 4. Let's see if we can get you via the Skype. Okay, let's see how we can place a call now to him. But that was the latest interview there by the by Al Jazeera to our former president, President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. Okay, let's see if we can call Mr. Nelson now to be our guest analyst on the show tonight. Before we go to the papers, yes, we're here on the Brent News Review. No,
Max, can you hear me?
I'm hearing you. How are you?
I'm okay.
Okay, welcome. It's great to hear your voice after some times now, isn't it?
Yeah. You group trotting, you know.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes it's good to just disappear sometimes and then come back. It's good like that. How you doing anyway? How our family people on that side, the Liberian community there?
Well, everybody's doing fine. Yeah. Our family people are complaining they don't see you when you come. You're all over the place. So.
Okay.
But the weatherman is a busy man, so.
Thank you for defending me there. I am actually busy, so especially. But I'm planning actually September, by the grace of God, I will have to come and eat dinner in your house. I promise that.
No, okay.
September. Look for
so you come this.
Yeah.
You come this way?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I'm coming to eat dinner in your house.
Okay. Well, I got plenty of houses, so in Liberia and all.
No. I'm coming to the States. Let me specify now. I'm coming to Maryland or wherever you are. I will find you in the Americas.
Definitely, you'll find me.
Great. Chief, welcome. It's always a pleasure to have you on the show as well, especially so if we are analyzing issues relative to Mama Liberia. Did you listen to? Did you watch the interview? I was just replaying Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf on Al Jazeera.
Yeah, I watched the interview, and I think she won on points to start with.
Okay.
This gentleman didn't have the facts, and she told him go look at the report or the records. The records are there. And my only issue is she mentioned, but people don't talk about pending cases. And I just sent an email to Ambrose One. What rule of the court say you cannot comment on cases pending in court? I mean, I don't see lawyers doing that, so maybe there must be a rule.
Well, I don't know whether it's different from America, but here as well, when the case or proceeding is already in court, they don't normally go into a detail, even when they are interviewing whosoever that is involved or so. Or sometimes they say, it's an ongoing investigation. We don't comment on it. So I don't think it's different from Liberia as well.
Well, maybe in Liberia there's a rule, but I look at all the court rules and I didn't find any.
Oh, really?
Well, like you say, yeah. I'll send the court link with all the court rules, Second Court, Supreme Court, Liberia Court, and some opinions. I'll send the link.
Okay.
So I've sent an email to the Supreme Court. One of the guys that keep the records there to tell us which rule.
Right.
Yeah. So.
All right, but I mean, okay, let's table that because yes, the interview, well, she dealt with it the way she wanted. Although at the end, for me, I felt she was uncomfortable. You could look at the body language, and of course, I can say for the first time maybe, I heard her stumbling, and that means that she wasn't comfortable with the questions or the way the guy was posing the questions.
Well, she seemed uncomfortable. Maybe he didn't give her the time to answer the question. Like into the middle of answering, then he brings in another thing. So
yeah, but no,
checking.
No, this is it. When I am dealing with you as a journalist, but I'm dealing with you as a highliner, and I pose certain questions to you, and you try to dodge that question. At the end of the day, once I get the hint that you're trying to dodge the question, I can come back to check on you, because I want answer from you. So I want the definite answer from you. So when you
but you want the answer, cannot force me to give you the answer you want to hear. Yeah, but that's the problem you are facing.
Well, at the same time, that where we actually try to get you people who are Highlanders in terms of us dealing with you or so. Because, the constitutionally, if I ask you some constitutional question right now about Liberia, definitely you're going to explain a whole lot to me, one thing. But yeah, if it happened to, let's say, for example, something like investment is involved or so on, perhaps your name is kind of attached to it. You're not going to be comfortable.
Legally, so I have to be mindful how I give you answers.
You see,
because you come back to haunt me.
So that's it.
And what you are trying to do, make sure you answer questions.
All right, okay, gentlemen, you're welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We are on the print news review. We're here. I started the show by replaying the interview I had, a very short interview I had with lengthy interview, but I just gave you a gist of it with Robert Salif, Mr. Robert Salif, then NOCA president. I will bring that full interview with in the due course, because and try to blink it with this interview from Al Jazeera. But for now, we're going to go straight to the point. We are going to microscope the MOJ again. That's the Ministry of Justice. They just came up with I don't know what I should refer to that as a kind of a report or press statement, or I don't know, but Nokofo will make us to understand it better, because at least he listened to it as well. But first of all, let me take you to some of our newspapers we normally find online. Let us start with the Liberia Observer first. What we do normally on the show, we read the headlines. Our special guest, when they find it expedient that we should expand on a certain story, we will expand it, we'll read it a little bit, and they can give their analysis. So yes, Nokofo is here with us, constitutional. I refer to him in Liberia as a constitutional man. So let's go quickly. The Observers Online, this is MOJ shifts burden of proof to CBL for mop up flaws. We see the photograph of the Justice Minister here. MOJ shifts burden of proof to CBL for mop up flaws. And this one say Hortin Gonglo was in line with Supreme Court's protocol. Hortin Gonglo was in line with Supreme Court's protocol. And no, definitely our guest analyst will be highly interested in this, because he loves to talk about anything that has to do with Constitution. All right, let's go quickly to this. U.S. Senator Young to lobby for War Crimes Code. U.S. Senator Young to lobby for War Crimes Code. And this one say Federation of Liberian Youth angry that its 2019-2020 budget will be disbursed through Ministry of Youth and Sport. So the guys are angry. In fact, they have threatened that they will, if they don't give their money direct, if they pass it through Ministry of Youth and Sport, according to their press release, they were governors masses to get in the street as well. Okay, let's go quickly to this. No change in U.S. price for gas. Fuel says Comment Ministry. No change in U.S. price for gas, fuel, says Comment Ministry. I must admit to you that up to Sunday when I left Liberia, the gas price was about $595, nearly $600 for 1 gallon. My understanding today is that it's about 600 plus, and even the scratch card now you have to pay $200 if you have Liberian dollars, either $1 US or you pay $200 for a dollar scratch card. So if you don't see many people online this video from Liberia, it comes to the standpoint that the scratch card is now 200 Liberian dollars. All right, quickly to this, it says here, in spite of protests, government should keep marketplaces clean. In spite of protests, government should keep marketplaces clean. Okay, quickly, on the Observer, Nook, any story that you want us to expand on here, or you want us to go through all the others?
Oh, well, that reads through the other ones.
Okay, quickly.
Marketplace. Okay. Those are regular here on Facebook, they're not clean.
Wonderful. Okay, quickly, let's go to the bush chicken online, courtesy of the guys, Liberian people. Thank you so much. You are informing us now through the wire. Okay, it's a Oped. Are you safe as an employee in Liberia? Are you safe as an employee in Liberia? There's a question mark there. Magibi citizens debate voter eligibility age. Magibi citizens debate voter eligibility age. Probably they want to kick off the ball rolling so it can spread across the country. Because we saw it, I saw it personally. I met Liberians, especially during the gun election in between 2016 and 2017, when I met young children who were having a voter registration card, and some of them were quite blunt to tell me, I am 16 years old, I'm 17 years old. They were boastfully telling me that they were going to vote, and indeed they voted because I saw them with voter registration cards. So Magibi County, thank you for that. Magibi County debates voter eligibility age. Okay, let's go quickly to this. It says here, Senate to probe. Sorry, let me see. Okay, let me see. Okay, Senate to probe skyrocketing currency exchange rate. Senate to probe skyrocketing currency exchange rate. That one, that's much that going on right now. All right, and the last one says here on this bush chicken, it says the former president Salif appointed as WHO Goodwill Ambassador. That's the World Health Organization Goodwill Ambassador, along with 3 other people. That's a new appointment there for the for our former president. Okay, the devil is not respected at home, but then in the diaspora they are. Okay, quickly, let's go to the News Public Trust. This one says here, stop shielding Tue, Petrie, and others from persecution. That's the Association of Liberian Journalists in Americas sending that warnings out to the president of Liberia. Stop shielding Tue, Petrie, and others from persecution. Okay, they have issued a strong warning there. Yup, that's the beneficiaries praises World Bank Sweden for US 3 million poverty reduction project. That's the Youth Opportunities Project. Yup, they call themselves. The praise World Bank for giving them 3 million poverty reduction project. Okay, sponsoring their project. And this one says here, man allegedly commits suicide in Grand Bassa County, and we see this man hanging up. Sorry, I'm not going to share some of this photo with you because this one look a bit gruesome. Man allegedly commits suicide in Grand Bassa County, believed to have hanged himself right in this kind of a kitchen that we can build on the farm, you know, with the palm touches and things. So the body is just hanging up there. Very, very sad, yeah. AFL Chief of Staff wants drug test for all Liberian public officials. Hey, you hear the one. AFL Chief of Staff wants drug test for all Liberian public officials. Okay, the Chief of Staff is speaking there. Of course, and of course, again, lastly on this one here, it says here, GSC report on US 25 million mop-up shows systemic flaws at CBL, says Justice Minister Dean. Okay, that was yesterday. And lack of safe drinking water puts local health at risk in Peham town. Okay, that was the News Public Trust. And let's finally do the front page Africa, and then before we come to Nokofu and see whether we can flag out any 1 or 2 stories that he wants us to expand on so he can give his analysis. Okay, the burden of proof. Say your central bank challenge to clear its name from these discrepancies uncovered. That's according to the report of the Minister of Justice. Chief Justice defend shutting bar president up for legal luminaries. Wow. Chief Justice defends shutting bar president up. So he shut the friend up. He said, shut up. Don't stop talking. Airport Authority Managing Director accused of nepotism, corruption. That's a new one there. In fact, this man, I understand that this man is a preacher of the gospel. He's a bishop. I read a bit of the story, but what happened is that he's in there as a managing director for this airport, but then he took majority, almost, I don't know, 8 or so members of his church and gave them high position and gave them pay rise as well. It says here, Airport Authority Managing Director accused of nepotism and corruption. And quickly to this one, it says here, the greatest honor, Liberian-born Habib Tijan becomes first black mayor in the UK. Thank you. Congratulations for that. June 7 protest mediation. UN envoy due in Friday. June 7 protest mediation. UN envoy due in Friday. That's tomorrow, right? Yes. The envoy will be. And those are the stories that are making headlines. Let me welcome all of you on the platform. Nokofo, Christian Nokofo Nelson is our guest analyst. Nok, to you, any story that I know you're following some of the stories that you want us to
Yeah, I'm interested in why the Chief Justice shot.
Okay, let's see whether we can flag that story. Okay, it's out now. It says Chief Justice defense shutting bar president up, but legal luminaries give divergent views. Let's take a look at this story because we see the Chief Justice. Let me see. Chief Justice Francis Kpakio defends his action of stopping the president of the Liberian National Bar Association (LNBA) while he was speaking on Monday, May 20. Several legal luminaries have expressed their disagreement with the Chief Justice defense. Okay, they want the battle in the house there. As the LNBA president, Councillor Tier 1S Gonglo spoke at the program for the sitting of Associate Justice Yusuf D. Kaba, the Chief Justice interrupted and stopped him speaking further. Wow. Associate Justice Kaba replaced the former impeached Associate Justice Cabinet M. Janet. Councillor Gonglo's speech was interrupted and ordered stopped by the Chief Justice when he referred to the bill of impeachment that was drawn against the former Associate Justice by the House of Representatives. According to him, the bar, which is a professional body for all practicing lawyers in the country, maintains that Janet's removal was unconstitutional. Speaking on behalf of the bar, Councillor Gonglo stated, the Senate violated Article 73 of the Constitution. The removal of justice for performing a legal justice create a precedent that has the potential of making other judges, especially of subordinate courts, to be afraid to freely perform their legal duties when it comes to cases in which the interests of government or powerful persons or entities are involved, thereby defeating the purpose for which courts exist in our system of government. As soon as he had made this statement, which is on page of the 3-page speech, the Chief Justice banged his gavel on his desk, which signaled to the learned councillor that he should immediately stop, so he didn't deliver his full speech, which included a caution to the full bench of the Supreme Court to stand up in defense of the rights of each other against any illegal action from the executive or the legislature. Also included a Gonglo's unread portion of his speech would have been, I should be in joyous mood celebrating for the elevation of Justice Kaba as my former student doing undergraduate studies at the University of Liberia in the 1980s. I cannot because another former student of mine, Justice Jones, was removed unconstitutionally on Wednesday, May 20 through May 22nd, through the office of the Director of Judicial Public Information, Anthony Diary Ambrose Na. In defense of the Chief Justice, the Supreme Court stated in a release that the action of the Chief Justice was in no way an endeavor to hinder the fundamental rights of any person as reported by the details. According to Ma, two particular newspapers which headlined that the Chief Justice's actions was to stifle free expression was unfair to the judiciary. Anyway, that's the story there. And look, I know you have,
okay.
We got a good deal of it. What do you make of it? You think is this the house service is falling apart?
Well, it's not falling apart. It's just the two various camp are on a disagreement on the proceeding of this impeachment trial.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, I've filed with the head of the Bar Association, but impeachment is politics.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where we are. Maybe the Chief Justice were trying to let him know, hey, we already done that, we all with it. It cannot be something that somebody can repeal for us to go back to the drawing board.
Mm-hmm.
He's out. Now we got somebody else coming in. Don't wait till what on the man rainy day. So that's where we are. Okay. Or maybe Gongo just wanted to grandstand. And the Chief Justice when I have any of that, shut up. I said shut up.
Yeah. But I mean, in that kind of a scenario where juniors members are there, where the public is there, also, don't you think it's a form of disgrace to the colleague?
Well, it may be disgrace, but sometimes you have to be very calculated when you do these things in the public. You want to make the Chief Justice look bad, like, hey, your house that you control is not functioning well. And the Chief Justice is saying, hey, you're supposed to come through the front door, not the back door.
Right.
And there where we are. So who with more power? The Chief Justice.
The Chief Justice.
The Chief Justice. Yeah, the Chief Justice can suspend him. And that means he cannot practice in front of the Supreme Court. He may practice at the lower court. But given his status, he must have practiced in front of the Supreme Court. And if he didn't yield, that will coming down, suspension.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that can be done unilaterally then by him, eh? Not by any
where
court.
will you go to repeal? Nowhere. We saw it with Christina Tarr when it suspended her, and she couldn't practice in front of the Supreme Court.
Okay, that's power, and power possesses responsibilities. All right, look, I have interest in this story. Let's see whether, let me read a little bit, and then maybe you can give your own synopsis with respect to this story. Airport Authority Managing Director accused of nepotism, corruption. We're still talking about it every day. Let me read this story. As President George Manneh Weah struggles to stabilize the economy, some of his appointees, on the other hand, are creating an uneasy environment for the president's government and the economy. This is according to some employees of one of the public entities. President Weah's head appointee at the Liberia Airport Authority, LAA, who is pastor, is now being accused of being entangled with allegations of bad leadership, divisiveness, and nepotism. President George Manuel Weah in March 2019 appointed the former board chairman of LAA, Bishop J. Allen Kpakio, as the acting managing director to head the airport's authority. Bishop Kpakio replaced Will Bako Freeman, who resigned from the LAA recently. A few weeks following Bishop Kpakio's appointment, some employees, mainly those assigned at the James Springs Payne Airport in Cinco, have expressed vote of no confidence in their boss for his alleged act of nepotism, divisiveness, and bad labor practice. Some employees who spoke to this newspaper accused the bishop of allegedly bringing along with him to LAA at least 18 persons from his Jubilee Praise Church, all of whom he employed an increased wage bill of the entity. They stated that included among those he brought are his two children, Rachel Kelly and Emmanuel Kpakio. He is also being accused of employing his women's department president, his private secretary at the church, head of the usher department, and his choir directors, all from the Jubilee Praise, where he is a bishop of the church. According to the aggrieved employees, who begged not to be named for fear of reprisal, Bishop Kpakio, upon him taking over, immediately changed the procurement director and replaced him with another man. The head of the cargo was also allegedly changed and replaced with the choir directors of Jubilee Praise. He also brought in Prince Shapor to be monitoring us and carrying news to him on employees. When Prince hears any employee discussing the MD, he will carry your name to him. When you are not careful, you will be dismissed, an employee explained. A front page Africa investigation has also revealed that since Bishop Kpakio in March, he has never called a general staff meeting. Employees of the entity have also complained of not being able to express themselves during the cancellation of staff meeting and the continuous alleged threats from the man of God. Another official who is in the middle of the allegations is the airport manager of the James Springs Payne Airport, Mr. Emmanuel Tapla, who, according to these employees, has joined the bishop to allegedly run the LAA their own way. When this newspaper made contacts with Bishop Kpakio, he told us that his public relations officer PRO would respond would respond on his behalf. Rather, he further promised to give the number of the PRO to us. After several reminders to the bishop, he is yet to send the number of his PRO. We have also been waiting for the last 3 days for official response from him. Look for, I mean, that your country and your people. Well, where will you? Go.
These things will continue going on. Appointing people who are not capable of doing the job is one of the biggest issues in Liberia. And here we got a bishop. What experience he has in administration, nobody knows. He come in and bring in his crew, all because a church member, employing relatives, which is against the code of conduct, and dismissing other people who were there that went through the civil service employment. If you look at the civil service employment law, even the minister cannot fire the janitor. If he doesn't like the janitor, he can refer to civil service to send another janitor. But in Liberia, the minister come with girlfriend, my pa, their relative put them on the payroll. And this is why we have issue with payroll. Because if that minister leaves, he takes most of the people he brought with him to another department, but the names are on the payroll. It doesn't disappear, so they get to do checks. I don't know how we solve that problem, but somehow we try.
Okay, let's quickly go to the News Public Trust. Let me bring this one here because I think where we are, where you are in the States, there and here, you know, what this AFL chief is talking about, chief of staff is talking about, is quite common here in terms of administering drugs test. Well, I don't know in the case of Liberia whether this call will be paid attention to. But let me just read a little bit of it, and then we can hear from you, you know, your own analysis with respect to this particular story. It says here, courtesy of the News Public Trust, AFL Chief of Staff wants drugs test for all Liberian public officials. All Liberian public officials. And the guy, he won't be fired. Okay, the Chief of Staff of the Armed Forces of Liberia, AFL, Major General Prince C. Johnson, is recommending a routine drugs test to be conducted on all public officials. General Johnson said this is a means of reducing the high rate of consumption of harmful substances by them. The issue of drugs consumption is becoming common to the point that public officials who are to set examples are the ones introducing it to the younger ones, the Army Chief of Staff said. Speaking at the end of a 2-day youth legislative policy dialogue organized by NIMOD and the Legislative Information Services, LIS, the AFL Chief of Staff said he as head of the AFL, he has made it his duty to ensure that officers of the force are tested of drugs. That's what's going on. That's great. I am always the first to be tested, and after that, the members of the force, General Johnson added. According to him, in keeping 7.7 of UNCNJ gives him the authority to remove bad products from the AFL. I am zero tolerant when it comes to drugs issues, he said. The AFL Chief of Staff further said, majority of applicants to the AFL are denied after proving positive of drugs test examination. Even if those people make 100% rating test of the AFL and fail the drugs test we conduct, they cannot be recruited into the army, he said. All right, this is what the general is saying here. That he recommending that, I think from the president down, everybody should take drug test. You think this is easy call?
Well, I don't know why you're getting silly, but sometimes when you get power drunk, you say foolishness. All public officials, that means the lawmakers then should take drug tests. That's what he's saying. The executive have no control over the legislators. So, where are we? He has a group that works under him. By law, maybe he has the authority to come up with policy, and his policy is saying, if you work in the military, you are subject to drug tests. That's fine. But now that goes into his head and he's going beyond his limit. He asking legislators now to be drug tested. So the question is why? Should the president be drug tested? Is he saying or know of any drug used by the president? Because that's why he's saying that some elements within the government are into drugs.
Of course, why he's saying he doesn't exempt anybody, he may say all government officials.
Oh, yeah. So is that a requirement now to be in the government? There's no law to that effect. But he has the mandate because he called it UNCJ something to come up with a policy for his people he control, the army. And that's his limit, the army, nothing beyond that. Now he asking the president and the rest of the other people to be drug tested. I say, yeah, let it be drug tested.
No, but where to start from now? That's the thing. Although he say,
he say start for himself.
For himself, boy, he want. Oh God! If vice president, everybody is to be. Oh God, this is not easy call for him. It's not going to be an easy call for him.
Let drug test everyone.
Everyone, that's great. Well, let's hope that his call will be. Will
it be confidential after the result come out, or will it be made public?
That's the thing now, because coming public to suggest it, then that means we should know. The public should know who's taking drugs and who's not.
We're going to be paying for it. Yeah. So once we pay for it, we have to know.
That's it. The taxpayer will be paying for it. That's true. All right. Let's take this other story quickly. Senate to probe skyrocketing currency exchange rate. I don't know why now, but let's go to the story and then read a little bit of it, and then we can hear from Nook. We are still coming. We'll play you the interview. Perhaps after the story, we'll play you the interview. Not the interview per se, but the press release. I don't know how to put it, but the Ministry of Justice, press release yesterday also. Okay, the Liberian Senate has mandated its committees on Ways, Means, Finance, and Banking and Currency to probe into the accelerating depreciation of the Liberian dollar against the US dollar currency and the resulting adverse effect on the economy. The Senate took the decision on Tuesday, May 21st, following a communication from Lofa's Senator George Tembe requesting the Senate to invite the country's economic management team, headed by Finance Minister Samuel Tuohy, and the management of the Central Bank of Liberia to speak on mechanisms they were instituting against the increasing exchange rate. While the central bank's exchange rate is 183 Liberian dollars to $1 US at many foreign exchange bureaus across Monrovia, the rate varies from 185 to 190 Liberian dollars to a US dollar. Market buying and selling rates, Liberian dollars per US dollar, did the 21st of May 2019. Buying rate is 183.2914 US to $1 US, and selling rate is LD 184.3076 to $1 US. That was on the up to the 21st. The high increase in the United States dollars against our own Liberian dollar is causing serious impediment to ordinary Liberian citizens and the current state of the Liberian economy, Tembe said. Maryland Senator Blibo Brown said, one of the guys said with the Lofa lawmakers request. Okay, sorry. Maryland's Senator Blibo Brown sided with the Lofa lawmakers request. Brown added that the economic management team also needed to provide explanations on reports of the investigations concluded into the alleged missing LD 16 billion and the General Auditing Commission's report on the US 25 million mop of funds. The economic management team should be able to explain to the Liberian people the two reports, including the recent GSC report, he said. However, Grand Judas Senator Alfonso Gay said it would be fair for Tengbe's communication to first be presented to the appropriate committees who could then report to the general body on Tuesday, May 28, with recommendations on the way forward. Tengbe's communication was then forwarded to the Committee on Ways, Means, Finance and the Committee on Banking and Currency. And look, this is it. A good call or a belated call?
Well, it will be kind of late. And one of the biggest problems in that is who's on this committee have expertise in economics. Who? I don't know of anyone. The law says 15 counties should be represented on the Ways and Means.
Mm-hmm.
So they put anybody there who knows nothing about economy, marketing, pure. Now, if Twe gets there and start his showboating, who's there to question him? Over here, not everybody on the Ways and Means committee are economically inclined.
Yeah.
So they bring in experts to help them. These people got money in the budget to bring experts to help them. But what do they do with the money? They share your money themselves. So now they bring in Twe and Petrie. Could they go to the University of Liberia and other universities, bring the economic teachers that are there to help them ask questions? They won't do it. Because it's shame. But they have no idea about economy. So I call it a waste of time.
Okay. All right. Let's see whether quickly we can go to this. Okay, we can go to the issue of the mop-up exercise. The 25 million. It's I don't know. Some are saying that we should defend now. Let's bury it. But
Why should we bury it? The issue on this is fairness. If you got one group of people going to court to be sent to jail, why can't we do the same to the other group of people? These other people only printed money. But these other people went out to exercise some function. And we got money missing. And somebody say, you close your mouth. Why? The same thing in June 2, people should saying one accountability. There's one of the accountability in the June 12 protest demand. Now we should close our mouth. And how do we answer it?
How do we? Yeah.
How do we get to the bottom? The minister told us yesterday, no money missing.
I just come into that interview, say I want to replay it, and then we can finally deal with that on that note. Let me just throw that interview in, because most of our listeners here, perhaps they haven't heard the minister giving this speech yesterday. I don't know that speech or that reading, or somebody just gave some people to read or so. My own brother, but I'm on his back a few days. All right, let me throw in this for some of you. And then from there we hear from Nokofo. He just started talking a little bit about it, but let's hear the interview first.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, members of the Fourth Estate, Minister of Justice, Attorney General's response to the Auditor General's report of factual findings on the United States $25 million mop-up exercise conducted by the Central Bank of Liberia. The government of Liberia, through the Ministry of Justice, received on May 15, 2019, findings contained in the General Auditing Commission's GAC's report on the use of the United States dollars 25 million authorized by President George Manawia in his speech delivered on July 16, 2018. As Minister of Justice and Attorney General, I have the responsibility and obligation to respond to the report on behalf of the government of Liberia. I will hereafter summarize the factual findings established by the GAC's report. The amount of United States dollars 25 million was authorized to be infused into the economy to stabilize the exchange rate through monetary interventions by the Central Bank of Liberia, CBI. Out of the United States dollars 25 million authorized, only United States dollars 17 million was used. Section 4, Table 5 of the GAC's report establishes that out of the United States dollars 17 million, out of the United States dollars 17 million used, United States dollars 10 million was exchanged at the rate of Liberian dollars 155 to United States dollar 1. And United States dollars 5 million was exchanged at the rate of Liberian dollars 152 to United States dollar 1. Thus, the United States dollars 15 million, applying the rates spelled out above, was exchanged for Liberian dollars 2 billion 302 million 710,940. This amount was deposited with the central bank as per the accounting records of the CBL. Section 2.5.2 of the GAC's report establishes that the remaining United States dollars 2 million out of the United States dollars 17 million was sold directly to Total Incorporated at an exchange rate of Liberian dollars 156 to 1 United States dollar, realizing a value of Liberian dollars 330,141,800. Consistent with the above findings, the GAC report provides evidence that 2.6 billion, representing the value of the United States dollars 17 million, was actually brought to the CBL. There is, therefore, no issue as to the Liberian dollars 2.6 billion, representing the value of the United States dollars 17 million being brought to the vault of the CBL. It can safely be concluded that no money is missing in the United States dollars 25 million markup exercise. In the process of exchanging the United States dollars 15 million used for the direct markup as detailed above, Section 2.2.5, Table 2 of the GAC's report shows that United States dollars 6,700,000 was taken out of the bank to be exchanged during the exercise using 5 different teams, while United States dollars 8.3 million was exchanged at the CBL on the bank's premises. The accountability of the markup funds is not in question. However, Section 2.2.4 of the GAC's report states that 50 entities listed by the Central Bank of Liberia as having received monies from the CBL staff during the exercise denied their participation in the exercise. 8 of the entities on the CBL's transaction list were found not to be in existence. The burden of proof is on the CBL to establish the veracity of the transactions and the existence of the entities. Multiple sections of the report reference discrepancies and variances in the accounting records of the mop-up exercise. Again, these variances and discrepancies place the burden of proof on the CBL to explain these variances and discrepancies or to establish that they are not factual. The description of discrepancies, variances, and delays in posting financial transactions contained in the GSE's report points to systemic weaknesses at the Central Bank of Liberia. The GSE's report, like the Crow and the Presidential Investigation Team's reports, reveals entrenched systemic flaws at the CBL over the years. In view of the above, the Minister of Justice and Attorney General has made specific recommendations to the President of the Republic of Liberia. The President will shortly address the nation. I thank you.
Thank you very much. That brings us to the end of this press conference.
Well, look, you heard it. But let me start off first of all by asking you this question. You think this press conference, or this briefing was the one that prompted the House to, the story we just read about this Senator Tengbe asking the committee to invite the central bank people. You think from here, even though the minister said he was speaking on behalf of the government?
Yeah, well, that is part of it when it comes to legal affairs. But the issue is we got discrepancies in the report, the action of CBL, and we got to get to the bottom of it. Now, CBL is saying wherever they did, it was based on the instruction from the financial management team headed by Samuel Twe. So where are we? And then the minister is saying no money is missing. Now, that's what people got problem with. If I give you $10 and say go and exchange it, you go out there and you do whatever you want to, come back to me and say, I gave John Doe $5. I gave Cyril Nawe $5. John Doe come back and says, he didn't give me no $5, he gave me only $3. So what happened to the $2? It's unaccounted for. The issue guy in this audit report. Money are unaccounted for. Then the minister tells us no money missing. Really? Are we supposed to believe that? And then the man was supposed to tell us truth.
Yeah.
Based on a portfolio, telling us no money missing. So what happened to the uncountable money? Is it sitting down somewhere? If it's sitting down somewhere, why they won't relay in the GSC report?
Yeah. Like the president told us once upon a time that I think $8 million was the balance money is kept in the void. But now, but this just the minister didn't even make comment on that.
No, something wrong somewhere. And now the June 12th protest, that's one of their asking. Those who are there know there should be no protest. The June 12 people is saying, hey, all the missing money, why accountability? And I see what's wrong with that. So when I start preparing your paper, when the June 12 people put it up, you say, oh, yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think June.
But they won't do it.
You're talking about June 7, the protests are coming.
Yeah, the protest is one of their demands.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Accountability for all these missing money.
Yeah. But I mean, for him to begin with by saying that, I'm speaking on behalf of the government, doesn't that, give maybe a power to Nathaniel Petrie and the Minister of Finance to say we are not going to go to attend the House committee?
Well, they can say that, and nothing can be done.
Yeah. And say
but even if they charge them for contempt, who enforces the contempt? They don't have their own police force. They don't have their own jailhouse. They have to be sent to the executive. And the executive won't look at them and put in jail.
No. So actually, but no. Just before we end up, yeah. To you, quite personally, you know, since you've been following this story, where we are now, let's looking at this $16 billion. They said no, everything is okay, and looking at the 25 million, they said no, not everything is okay. Who is going to win in this case, Liberian people or the government?
Well, the Liberian people will win. So the government can drag or free what she wants. At the end of the day, the pressure is on the government to produce. So this is not Billy drop Billy when we die our business. No, we're not ready to die. One answer. So that's where we are.
You think would there be any repercussion just in case maybe the government will continue to drag her feet and not coming out with the actual findings?
The government cannot drag her feet. The 25 million is in whose currency? The U.S. currency. You think the U.S. want her currency to go dead because of Liberia? You check it, she's in the back pressure on the government to answer questions.
Yeah.
Yeah. If it's money laundering, let's know. If it's XYZ, let's know. Because it's our currency you're dealing with. This is not your Liberian currency. It's a currency you can do what you want to.
Yeah.
But you deal with the U.S. currency and one answer. What happened to all the money? If they got any bank accounts here, the U.S. government knows. You know who got a bank account here what. Because you got to use your security number to open a bank account over here. You put in your children's name, they will know. Because your children is not working to make that money.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, something will come up. And it could lead to, I'm not saying it will, but it could lead to the change of government if the citizen put a pressure on knowing what happened.
Yeah. Because, I mean, obviously, you won't trust anybody who you know.
No. And that's going to happen.
Yeah.
Change of government.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's see whether we can remind ourselves as to how we even got here. Let's hear from the central bank governor and one of the leaders of the government, which is the party chairman of the CDC. But let's start off with Nathaniel Petrie first, and then before we can take a departing statement from Kofa, who has been so much helpful today on the show, analyzing news and development on the show.
The Central Bank of Liberia wants to clarify to the general public and our partners in progress that there is no $16 billion Liberian dollars missing, as has been erroneously reported in the media.
I have my head about missing money because I know what happened to the money. If I were asked to testify in this saga, I would have asked the Central Bank governor, how come a whole container loaded of Liberian dollars is said to have ended up at the vault of National Savings Bank, where it is alleged that pickups were driven there under the cover of darkness during the campaign and were there uploaded and taken to personal homes. When George Weah was not yet president, I believe that Charles Salif has a story to tell because he plays a pivotal role as Central Bank of Liberia.
So that's it, Nook. It's a big fight, and I think a lot of evidences. If we actually go into this case, there are proof that something wrong somewhere, but somebody is not willing to tell the truth. But finally, just before we go, let's hear from you, your departing statement.
Well, thank you, Max, and Liberia is Liberia, and we have to do the best with it. It's unfortunate to see the introduction of this government is all about money here, money there, money here, missing. And we're not getting to the end of it. We got lawmakers with oversight power. They sit there and do nothing. And that's where the problem is. The lawmakers were doing their work will not be at this stage. But they're not doing their work. How 25 million, not one, but 25 million will be in questions, and lawmakers sit there like it's nothing.
Yeah.
It's nothing. Oh, we don't care. That 1 week story, after that we die. No. Using somebody else's currency. And they don't want their currency going into smoke. So they consent to 25 million. You do X, you do Y. Records not adding up. Where is the money? The $2 should be somewhere. Where is it? And somebody just inboxed me, I don't know how factual is it, that Patriot is saying he is not going to resign. He's not going to be forced out. He did what the economic team told him to do. And he's not going to mess up his family name. Now we got another twist in his story. So he does he know something that we don't know?
No, we don't know. Yeah. Yeah, I heard that story too.
Yeah.
But this is it.
You know, Patriot saying go further. When you go down, you're not going down alone. That means he knows something that we need to know.
Now it's
up to the lawmakers now to either bring him behind closed door or having the public to answer questions. But the Liberian lawmakers are just what they are.
Christian Nugufo, thank you so much for this afternoon, the evening. We appreciate you very, very much as well on the show for your frank analysis on the issues of national concern. We say thank you, and hopefully we'll have you next week again back on the show.
No problem.
All right. All right, thanks everyone for joining the platform this afternoon, this evening, or this morning. This is how we come to the end of this segment of the program, the Print News Review. Our special guest analyst was Christian Kofa Nelson of Radio LIV. They're from the United States of America. Of course, as usual, your producer and presenter, Max Kpakio, live from the United Kingdom. Thank you very, very much once again for being there. It's all about Mama Liberia. Until another time, I want to wish you all the very, very best, and whatever you're doing. Once again, we want to say congratulations to you, Rose Kumar. Thanks for the hard work as you graduate from the field of from the medical field today in the United States of America. Congratulations to you, Rose. God bless you. But until then, goodbye from my end. Have a pleasant night, or have a pleasant day. Bye bye from my end. Bye bye. Bye bye.